and more financial planning firms are embracing ESG investing. In these 3 videos, one of the very early adopters is going to be telling us what his experiences have been. Max Tennant is the founder of IFAMAX Wealth Management. Based in Bristol, IFAMAX manages more than £250 million of assets for clients across the UK. It specialises in helping business owners and other successful people to plan and prepare for their retirement.
I started IFAMAX in November 2003, and fairly quickly I met Dimensional at an Institute of Financial Planning meeting in April 2004. I went to one of their little courses, and from that I would say I became really evangelical. I think a lot of other advisors would recognise that, but I became very evangelical about passive investing, factor investing, and so on. I was very lucky to go on a course with John Bowen in 2005. He has a great process for onboarding a client. It's a brilliant fact find, but it's one that's just full of open questions. And one of those open questions that I ask clients caused me great difficulty almost straight away. And that question was, what do you want for society and the world at large? When I asked this question, the sort of answers I would get would be along the lines of, they'd sit very deep in their chair and go, blimey, no one's really ever asked me that sort of thing before, but yeah, I'm really worried about my grandchildren, what sort of world they're going to be living in, or I'm just worried about the ethics of how companies operate, or I'm worried about pollution. It could be any one of a number of things, but they'd always come up with concerns that I felt we probably weren't addressing. And then at that point, what was it that I was going to do to invest for my clients to meet with their goals and values?
Looking back, Max Tennant recalls having doubts about whether he was doing the right thing. He needn't have worried.
I remember deciding what I actually needed to do was do one of 2 things. I'll be perfectly honest with you. Stop asking the question, because it's causing me problems with delivering the wonderful medicine that I just gone and learned. I want to give clients a successful investment experience, or embrace the question, be consultative with clients, and give them an alternative. So that's the route I decided to go down. I would call that Max version 2.1 at that point, where I had the sort of DFA type arrangement, and then I had something else that looked as close to DFA, but I had to introduce other funds, and there was a couple of active funds in there and so on. And so I'd ask the question again, what do you want for society and the world at large? I'd wait for the answer. And then I would follow it up by saying, okay, is there anything you would like us to do in the way that we invest money for you? And the response would either be, oh, no. Either, please just do what you normally do. Don't worry about what I've just said. That would be about 80% of people. And then 20% were pretty hard lines, said, no, I'm worried about the ethics. I'm worried about how our money is taken care of. Yes, please, can you do something for me?
In 2014, Max was invited to speak at an overseas conference about his experiences of asking clients about their personal values. There he was approached by an advisor who'd seen his presentation. It proved to be a pivotal moment.
He stopped me after the conference and he said, I really like what you're doing, that's great. I don't understand why you haven't just made it your default. And I thought for a moment, I thought, yeah, there's no reason why not. Why can you not just make it the default option? So therefore the conversation changed. So I'm now at version 2.2. The question is, what do you want for society and the world at large? Wait for the answer. Explain that I share the concerns or values on that particular point. And then instead of saying, do you want us to do something about it? I would just say, that's great. And we'll talk more about that next time.
So now IFAMAX offers all of its clients an ESG investment solution as the default. And as a business, it has greatly benefited.
we have seen referrals come in to our business specifically on the back of that question and addressing that within clients' portfolios. Like I'd never seen that before. It has been a good thing. If you look at the fear factor I had at the start of just not embracing it and tackling it head on, I can understand completely why someone would avoid that subject. But I know other advisors, they've also found exactly the same thing. Once you decide to start having this conversation, you're pushing an open door with the client, and it's very easy to embrace it as a default option with everybody.